Shh, nothing happened. Right, okay, guys. Are you ready for the first panel of the day? I think you are because, you know. Can we have a giant, mega huge cheer for Bryan Dechart and Amelia Rose Blaire? Come on. Hey,
Good morning.
Good, how you doing?
Hello.
Hi, how you
Good
doing?
to see you.
Come sit down. Right, sorry, I gotta get my questions. Very unprofessional. 1 second. Getting my questions. Anyway, are you excited, you guys? Look!
Hello. Good morning. Good to see you all.
Hello, you guys.
Hi.
How's Manchester treating you so far?
It's
Really
lovely.
well. Good. Are you all glad to see them here in your wonderful city? Yes. And can we have a big cheer for the Connor Army again? Where's the Connor Army? Yes. So, let's launch straight into. I've got some serious questions.
Very good. Very serious.
Serious questions and a couple of games. First of all, is this your first time in the UK? First time in Manchester? Tell me.
Yeah, it's our first time in Manchester. Thank you for inviting us.
Yes. And what are you looking forward to most at MCM?
Well, this. This, meeting all of you.
Yes, because we've got 2 panels today and we've got another panel tomorrow. And if you come to the panel tomorrow, it'll be completely different games and questions. So we're not no repeated content here, you guys. So I wanted to ask some questions about Detroit, obviously.
Okay.
So I saw that you just met Jesse Williams at San Diego Comic Con, is that correct?
Yes, for the first time.
Is it strange not having those same sort of connections that you have when you're on set with somebody? Like you're doing your little thing and they're doing their thing and then all of a sudden they're like, oh hey, we were in this thing together. What was it like meeting him?
It was very cool. Can you hear me okay? I'm not sure. Okay, cool. The experience of working on the performance capture set is very different than a film and TV set because you don't have your scene partner there with you sometimes. So luckily Amelia and I were able to record all of our scenes together. So we were there for the whole day filming every possible permeation of that scene. But for Marcus, I filmed all of the scenes with Marcus with David Cage as Marcus. And so then Jesse filmed all of the scenes with Connor with David Cage as Connor. So I really wish I could see all of that footage.
Were you aware of all the Connor scenarios?
Yeah.
So you were aware of them, but did you see them in a linear sense, or did they sort of just unfold as you were going along?
So every time I'd go back to Paris to film, they'd give me like another stack of 2 weeks worth of material. So I had no idea what was happening with Cara or with Marcus, but I had like, here's a new packet of information about Connor. And then I'd try to make sense of it and figure out as much of the story as I could and then go back months later to do another packet of information.
So knowing the scenarios, you guys, how did that shape your game when you came to actually play it? Did you kind of have in mind, you're like, I want my character to survive? Or did you just sort of play it as you felt?
I felt like we went with our instincts, though our instincts knew where generally they were going to take us. But our first playthrough was a blind playthrough. We didn't really know much of any of Cara or Marcus's stories, so all of that was brand new.
Did you have something in mind for Cara and Marcus? I loved.
Well, we thought Cara would
story.
live.
Yeah.
We wanted Cara to live in our first playthrough. That was the goal.
Okay, so minimal deaths.
Minimum deaths.
Minimum deaths
is a good general plan. 0 deaths. We've never died once on a Twitch stream.
Who here watches the Twitch streams?
Thank you.
Oh my God, I've got some Twitch questions to ask you later. I've been watching your Twitch streams from afar as well. Yes, look.
That's it. That's what happens.
There you go. I read that you got info in chunks. So you get in chunks like you just said. So was it frustrating when you're trying to flesh out a character and you get information in these chunks instead of going, right, I know what the A, B, and C of it is?
Yeah, so after each different scene, you can see the flow chart of all the possibilities. I wish they gave me that. Like, why didn't someone show me that? For 2.5 years, someone could have said, look, here's all the possibilities. So it was much more of going through the script and trying to decipher, like, oh, these are the things that can only happen with Machine Connor, or these are the things that can only happen if you've deviated. And so Benjamin Deibling, who we've had as a guest on the stream a couple times, with a fantastic mustache like yours, functions kind of like the GM in D&D, is sort of telling you what just happened, what's about to happen. This could only happen if this happened. So there's a lot of script work, yeah.
I love how both of you have absolutely embraced online culture, the fandom, Twitch as well.
It's 2019!
Exactly. Exactly, moving with the times. But there are people out there that still say things like video games and online culture is disconnecting people from the real world. What would you say to people like that?
I mean, I think that video games have evolved. The connectivity of video games, especially things like live streaming and cloud gaming. There are lots of people who have only ever watched someone play Detroit and are still waiting for it to come out on PC so they can play it. But there was definitely a time where, like, when I was in high school, where I felt like when I was playing a video game, I was more separate from things. I felt like my brother playing of World of Warcraft, he was connecting with people online, but he wasn't connecting with the real person on the other side of the online persona. So what I really like about Twitch and streaming is that there's a lot of people in our community. I love that you're right there in the front row. I love it. I love it. It's good to see you. But like the fact that we've been able to like meet through all of these different social media platforms, so it's not just, you know, I'm logging into Diablo 1 and I'm, you know, trying to player kill in the first dungeon and get their gold or whatever, and then they're gone. It's a whole community thing. It's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I was on Twitch last night before I came to MCM, and there's a few people that are at MCM today that were on the stream. Somebody said to me up in Glasgow that they live alone and they're isolated, and what they love about Twitch is they can actually join in conversation because they've got social anxiety and things like that. So it's a nice way to connect. Have you met anyone like that on your streams that you've helped along, do you think?
I mean, honestly, the people that we have all formed this community with on Twitch has helped us so much. So I think it's a give and a take. Everybody's helping each other and then also getting help. But Twitch, honestly, is such a special place because of the community that you get to form. It's very different from YouTube, you know, where people are not necessarily there all at the same moment. But I definitely think that we've all created a really special, safe haven together. And I think it's a reflection of all the people who have created it, because you see yourself in other people, and so we're all reflecting that positivity at each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think a big thing we try to make a point of when we come to do these live events is that we get a lot more credit than we deserve for a lot of people's experiences on Twitch, because it's a bit like hosting a party where you invite people over, you say, here's a time and a place where everyone can get together, but then all of the awesome interactions you have at the party aren't, I mean, the host invited you, but you were hanging out with somebody else in another room and having a great conversation about something. And so there's a lot of credit you guys can give to yourselves for being that support for other people. So it's not just us. It's not like everybody comes and plugs into our lives or something. It's definitely more of like, here's the time and place. We'll meet you guys in an hour, and then, you know,
it's
the party
nice
starts.
because the world's on fire. I think we can all agree. So it's nice to actually have a place online where we can actually be happy and just have a laugh, basically. And actually, you were talking about parties there. Just a random question. When you guys go to a party, are you in the kitchen, are you in the corner, are you in the middle of the party? I'm usually in the kitchen. I wait
Does
for
the host
people.
have a pet? If the
Yes.
host, okay, we're wherever that animal is, usually.
Yes.
We're like, oh, what a good party.
I love the idea of you turning up to a party and going, hi, I brought you some food. Anyway, where's the dog? Where's the cat? So you're with the pet, yeah? Okay, cool. I'm in the
Usually with
kitchen.
the pet in the kitchen.
Yeah, the kitchen. I like people to come to me. I'm like, I'll just stay in the kitchen. So I've got a fan question here.
Okay.
Because I asked on Twitter for some fan questions. Okay, so from this is from Jade, who's Black Cat Plays on Twitter. Where's Jade?
Hey!
Oh, hi! There you are. Oh my God.
Good to
love
see
her.
you.
Yay!
I'm supposed to give you a hug from Mr. Debo. Can I give you that hug right now?
Yes!
Hello.
Yay!
Okay, back to work.
Oh, I love it. Okay, back to work. Okay, so Jade, thank you for your question, Jade. Which genre of game would you most like to work on next, and why, for both of you? Okay.
I mean, is Star Wars its own genre? Can I just say a Star Wars game? I would love to be in a Star Wars game.
Yeah.
If anyone's here from
Any Star Wars
EA or
developers here?
LucasArts.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, there we go. Good to see you, sir.
So Star Wars game for you?
Yeah, I don't know. I just love Star Wars.
I feel like a co-op game would be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, okay.
Something where you're getting to work with different people. Something fantastical.
Okay.
I like magic.
And you've got something coming out soon, right? Or what you're working on next?
Oh, well, thanks for asking.
Yeah.
I thought you'd never
So
ask.
just while we're here, let's go on with this plug,
Let's
you
do
guys.
We are working on, we're very excited to start, on August 11th, we're doing an interactive, live-streamed Dungeons & Dragons campaign called The Golden
Yes.
Spiral. And the idea is that it will be interactive at various depths. So some people might just want to watch, like you would watch Critical Role, and you're not, you're effectively in the audience or in the chat, so you can be engaged with people that way. Or if you are more involved, you could pick an elemental, and you could join one of 4 different air, fire, earth, and water factions, which will help our adventuring cast along as the story goes. I'll be the storyteller, and Amelia will be one of our adventurers. We have a bunch of awesome video game actors to be announced. Oh, I feel like we should just announce. Can we announce one? Why not? Okay, so Carolina Ravassa, who plays Sombra in Overwatch, will be joining us. Do we have a Sombra? Hey, Sombra, good to see you. I'll tell you another one. Okay, and Anjali, who plays Symmetra, will be with us as well in our cast. And some more of our friends from Geek and Sundry, who work on Vampire the Masquerade, will be in our beginning cast.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. And then of course the furthest level of involvement, if you also have a character that you've already built or one you'd like to build in the D&D universe, you can join in the campaign in a more interactive capacity, role-playing in that way, and up to running your own campaign in the same story world that will be able to influence our campaign on stream.
So, are you excited about that? You heard it
We're
here
pretty
first.
stoked about it.
MCM. So, Brian,
Don't tell anyone. That's all top secret.
I heard, I was looking online, I was doing lots of research online, watching lots of interviews from both of you, and I heard a glimpse of an attempted Irish accent, right? So, on YouTube.
What?
Yeah,
Who did that?
I think at some point you attempted an Irish accent.
Top of the morning to you.
Are there any accents either of you as actors find particularly difficult? I mean, there's lots in the UK. Manchester, for example, has its very own
You've got
special.
a beautiful accent here.
Oh.
I don't even know. We were talking about it this morning. We're thinking about someone, maybe if you came to this event with your parents and being like, Dad, I'm in the Connor army. And then they'd be like, who's Connor? Why's he got an army? What's he up to? Aren't you a bit soft for the army? You know?
I was trying to do like an English accent on my Twitch stream last night and an American one.
Can we hear a bit?
Yeah, give us your American.
Oh my God, you guys, I can't wait to speak to Bryan Dechart and Amelia Rose Blaire.
Wonderful.
That's good.
I have to do this a lot for some reason. Yeah.
This is what it's like when you come to LA. People are like, would you like a treat?
Oh my God. Like, all my friends in California are like, no, that's not how we sound. Just shut up. So any accents you find particularly difficult? Scottish, Irish, Manchester accent?
Finnish.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh God. Can you give us a bit of Finnish?
Good luck.
No.
Is Puppet Cur here?
Yeah, is Puppet Cur here? I know Puppet Cur has a Finnish accent.
Oh, that's hard though.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's so, I like it though, but I have not been able to perfect it, and I don't want to butcher it in front of everybody.
No, okay, we'll let you go this time. We'll
Does
move.
anyone have anything near and dear to them that we could maybe butcher the accent on
Oh.
stage?
Oh, we've got Spider-Man over there. What's Spider-Man saying? Yorkshire.
Oh, Yorkshire. I don't know if I could. I don't know if I can get the difference.
Is it Yorkshire?
Yorkshire.
Yorkshire.
What's the thing you're saying with a Yorkshire accent? I don't know.
Spider-Man, do you want to come up and give us a Yorkshire phrase? Come on, Spidey.
Yeah, we can
Spidey,
copy.
Come on. I love it. Spider-Man teaches Brian and Amelia accents. Come on, let Spidey through, people. Come on. I thought you'd be faster than that, Spider-Man. Come on. Let's do it.
What about the up and over thing?
Why do you have a bin bag? Is that a bin bag? Oh, no, it's not. It's just stuff. Right. Hi, Spider-Man,
Hello,
everyone.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Okay, Spider-Man, do you want to give us your Yorkshire accent?
Aye. And
Aye.
that's what he's saying, like, what else? Put the kettle on, or cuppa on.
Put a cup on.
Put a cup on. Put a kettle on then.
Put a cup on.
Yeah, sure.
What do you think? Yeah?
It's all right. It's passing.
He's an American
It's an American.
I love it.
Pretty good for
Spider-Man's
an
like,
American.
yeah, it's fine. All right, I'll see you later. Thank you, Spider-Man. Thank you. Everyone say thank you to Spider-Man.
Thank you, Spider-Man.
Thank you, Spidey. Cheers. Yorkshire Spider-Man. Who would have known? Okay, let's move on. Next question. We've got a question from Beth on Twitter. Where's Beth?
Hello, Beth.
Hi, Beth.
Good to see
Hi,
you.
don't be shy. Thank you for sending in your question. Right.
What's the question?
Not scary at all. So this is from Beth. How does it feel knowing that your streams have brought together a huge community of people who always show nothing but love and support to each other and have helped to form some amazing friendships from all over the world? Oh, Beth! Beth trying to make us cry here.
Oh, man.
Jeez, oh, Beth. Right, so how does it feel, you guys?
I mean, honestly, it gives me so much hope for our future. This entire community has really inspired me that our... It takes you guys take my breath away, because I didn't realize how much we could really take care of each other in this world anymore, because you feel so disconnected. There's so much anger and there's so much hatred when you turn on the news or when you go online, and so to be able to form this community together where we're all lifting each other up and supporting one another gives me so much hope for our future. This world that this is still alive, that we can still shine a bright light and all go towards that.
Damn right. Round of applause for that. Well, thank you very much. That's a really nice question. Thank you, Beth. I've got another fan question here now from Sabina. Don't know if Sabina's here, but her name is Zanny Bass on Twitter. If you were offered to play a superhero of your choice in a TV show or movie, which one would you pick? That's to both of you. Oh, here we go. Which would you choose?
Paul Bettany does a great job, so I don't want to take anybody's part. But I really like the character of Vision. I would like to try Vision.
Yes, Vision would be amazing.
The Dark Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good answers. Okay, so I want to ask you guys this because you guys work together, you Twitch together. I work with my husband, right? And I often get people saying, how does that work? How does that work? You work together. Do you not get fed up of each other? And I really hate when people say that, but you guys stream together, you do everything together. Do you guys get people saying similar things to you? Like, God, do you not get fed up of each other? Do you not argue?
Yes, but they make one misguess, which is that Amelia and I are not working. We haven't been working in years. It's just playing. It's just, we get to travel together.
Yeah.
The one thing I wanted to jump in for your question, Beth, is that when we get to travel and go to all these different events, it's by the invitation. I mean, we are specifically at MCM because so many of you tweeted at MCM or whatever other way. We're like, Manchester, please. So because you've done that, we get to come and visit this place and spend time with it. And as we've gone to all these different countries, there's so much more. We've gone to places that I never expected that I would be. We were in Ukraine and Russia and China and Thailand, and everywhere we've been going yes, of course, the languages are different and the styles of clothing are very different, but the people are incredibly similar in that they're all these big-hearted, empathetic, kind, sometimes nervous people. And the similarities between all of these people that are connected through a game and through a Twitch stream, but they're living literally all over the world, is just fantastic. So the fact that Amelia and I have been able to travel and do all this stuff together, it makes it way more enjoyable. I would never want to do this alone. I would never want to just be like, bye, Amelia, off to wherever, She would not like that either.
You celebrated your first wedding anniversary last month.
Yeah.
Let me say congratulations.
Thank you.
First wedding anniversary. Look. Oh
There
my
it is.
God, your dress. I mean, you look good as well, Brian,
No, but you know what? I never wore suspenders in my life besides in a play, and I notice there's a lot going on here, and they're a little high. So if you're going to get married and wear suspenders, do a dress rehearsal. Try it out before the day.
honestly, you both look so gorgeous. What did you do for your first anniversary?
We were in Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Okay, not bad, all right. Doing all right so far. Wait till you get to like 17. It's like, what do you want to do today? I'm in pajamas, so I'll see you later. That's pretty much it. Can we play, Dale, do we have time to play a game, what does this meme to me? Right, so we're going to play this game, what does this meme to me? If Dale can get the picture up on the thing.
Are you behind this?
What does this meme to me? Right, okay, Dale's good. Okay, so we'll do a quick fire round first, and then we'll play what does this mean to me. So I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, and you just complete the sentences, right? Okay.
Okay.
So it's time for a quick fire round. Okay. Number 1, don't think about it too hard. I just want your answers.
Okay.
Androids are always good looking because.
Because they were made that way.
Vampires are always good looking because.
Blood.
Oh. Oh, I like that answer. Oh, dark. Amelia's getting dark. Okay, in the future, androids will.
Take over the world.
Skynet. That's all I'm saying, Skynet. The best vampire movie of all time is.
Interview with a Vampire.
Yes! Oh my God, yes. High-fiving you from yes. Oh my God, I love that film so much. The name of my android, imagine you had an android, would be.
Ronald.
Ronald. Okay, Amelia, do you want? Are you going with Ronald?
Claude. I'll take Claude.
Ronald, make us a tea, Ronald. Where are you? I love that. Okay, being a vampire would be cool because.
Life.
Okay. Yeah.
I think vamp speed is really.
Yeah.
I like a good vamp speed.
Yeah.
Wish I could.
Yeah. Vamp speed, good. Yeah. Powers because powers.
Young forever. Ish.
Young forever. Powers.
Yeah.
Can't really get a tan, but still. If I could cosplay as a robot from any film or TV show, it would be.
Gotta be 3PO.
Oh yeah. What about you, Amelia?
If I could cosplay as a robot.
I feel like you could do something from Westworld. It'd be so easy. Just like I'm just gonna wear a skirt suit.
Yeah. I was gonna say like Inspector Gadget.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any Inspector Gadget fans? Oh my God. Inspector Gadget. Yes. High-fiving you again. Oh, we've got so much to talk about later, Amelia. Yes. Drinks. And finally.
Does anybody want to hang out tonight?
Yes.
You know, Troy Baker's doing a show. He's going to be playing some music.
Oh, yes, so he is.
That's the spot to be.
Troy Baker tonight, you guys. Finally, who would win in a straight fight between vampires and androids?
Vampires.
Oh. Okay. Brian's thinking about it though. He's thinking about
guys,
it.
is vampires.
Yeah.
I think. But you can't kill them. They're not alive.
So what do you guys
In
think?
both cases.
Yes.
Who thinks vampires would win in a straight fight? Vampires? Androids?
Yeah. There it
You're
is.
outnumbered there, Amelia. I'm sorry, you're outnumbered. Can we
All
play
right,
the
fine.
meme game, Dale? Right, okay. Let's play what does this meme to me? Here's the first meme. Here's the first meme.
Yes.
I really struggled to find some really good.
This is a good one.
You like this one?
It's the total. It's the dead stare that makes it extra scary to me.
Now, this is taken from The Shining. Obviously, this is part of The Shining. So my jumping off point question, slightly tenuous, is for Amelia, right? I heard you're super scared of The Shining.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that
How did you
film.
know? How did you know that?
I don't know, but it's
She's
very
terrified of that movie.
I'm
terrified.
really scared of The Shining. I do my research, peeps. I've done my research. But what do you think are the scariest parts of AI?
Of AI?
Yeah, like of robots, androids, the future.
I think the scariest part would be that they can look like humans and slowly take over that way. So you don't even know
Yeah,
that
so you
they've
could get a
taken
bad one.
over. And then they're like the Terminator. Watch.
So I would just be really nice. I try and be really nice to them. So like,
Yeah.
don't destroy me.
No,
destroy
no.
those people. Okay,
Yeah,
let's.
I've been telling people when you ask Siri to set an alarm, just say please, just in
Yes.
case.
Yes.
You know?
Don't swear at Siri. Be nice to Siri. Skynet. Okay, let's have meme number 2, please. Dale, meme number 2. Okay, here we go. I love this. Like, because I wasn't a fan of North when she first appeared, but then I heard her backstory and I was like, fair enough, North. She's had a bit of a hard life. Okay, Marcus, North. So, because of North's past, okay, she was rightfully quite angry, a bit reticent to choose the path that maybe, the righteous way, okay? But put yourself in North's shoes. Would you fight first and or talk later? How would you go about bridging the gap?
If I was in North's shoes, I would definitely fight first.
Yeah.
Based on whatever she had gone through at having to work at the Eden Club, yeah, I think first would probably be physical violence.
Physical violence. Okay, what about you, Brian?
I
You
mean,
the same?
Honestly, I think North has a lot more of a reason to start a revolution than Marcus does, because Carl's quite kind.
Carl is
Like,
nice.
Marcus has got a great setup, to begin with. Like, he gets pushed around a bit, and he observes injustice, but North is experiencing it firsthand. So I think that, North being called to take immediate action is not surprising.
So, that was the end of What Does That Meme to me. I've got more memes tomorrow. I love a meme. But now we have some fan questions, okay? So if you've got a question for Brian or Amelia, stick your hand up now. Oh, right, okay. Okay, I'm gonna go for the path of least resistance and just go over here first. Hello again. How are you doing? Right, take off your little mask, right?
Hello.
I can't wait. Can I have my glasses first?
Okay, glasses are coming on for very important. Okay, there you go. Right, now, is it Jack? Okay, this is Jack, you guys.
Hello,
okay.
hello.
I'll do with you later.
Yeah, right on.
This is burning me up. I don't know why. How long did it take to actually do all the scenes for Detroit?
So I started working on the hostage scene about 2.5 years before we filmed the very last piece, which we filmed with Amanda, where we're cold and it's snowing and you gotta get to the emergency exit. We film about 30 or 35 pages in a day, which is much faster than a film and TV set. And I think for all of Connor's scenes, it was done in about 30 different days. So it was very efficient. So it was a long time in between each section. But then once we were there, it was film, 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 film.
I did musical theatre, and then I know I couldn't remember all of those lines.
Are you working on a play right now?
Well, since we just had exams, we're doing about just little dances.
Oh, right on. Very cool.
Thank you very much, Jack.
Do you have anybody else here who's in theatre or doing a play?
And your
Some
theatre
musical
people?
friends?
There's some people over here.
Right on.
Have got any other questions? I'm going to go over here because I feel like the corners never get enough love. Hi, how are you doing? Right, okay, what's your name?
Jade.
Jade, yeah. Jade, okay, what's your question?
I wrote it to you on Twitter, so I might as well just read it out. If you could narrow it down to one moment, what was your favourite scene on the motion capture set to act for the game?
Thank you.
One moment? It's a branching narrative story. There's so many moments. I had a lot of fun. The first time that we were doing the hostage scene, my adrenaline was really high because I always wanted to be on a performance capture stage. And I was talking with Benjamin, the shooting director, and we decided that Connor's going to take off his tie to tie a tourniquet. At the same time, he would say, "You can't kill me. I'm not alive." And for me, that felt like, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. It was like day one. That was a big moment. And working with Amelia was fantastic too. I mean, do you have a favorite moment?
Favorite moment? There was a weird moment that definitely stood out when, spoiler, if you do kill the Tracys, there's a moment where you could have an interaction where Connor takes the head of one Tracy and shows it to the other. I did that scene with a basketball. So,
nice.
hello.
Okay,
basketball.
we've got another question over here. What's your name?
I'm Sarah.
Okay, Sarah's over here, you guys. I'll
Hi,
just stand
Sarah.
behind Sarah.
Hi.
Sarah, what's your question?
Sorry, I'm a bit shaky about this. There was a lot of deep and meaningful moments throughout Detroit, and I was just wondering what was the most difficult to film, or what was the most meaningful to you?
Thank you, Sarah.
I spoke about this on Twitch one time. It's the moment where Connor is at back to...
Sorry.
Where am I? This keeps happening. Not again. The moment where Connor is watching Marcus's speech at Back to Big Screen was a moment on set for me where it was for the first time a long period of time with no dialogue going back and forth. So I was free to just stand there and watch his speech. And in my mind, because I didn't know what Marcus's speech was, because they wouldn't give me the script for it because it was top secret. But I was reflecting on this Charlie Chaplin's The Great Dictator speech. And so for me, I had a really nice moment, a really fond memory of watching that speech and the idea of thinking that any of us are only one step away from starting a revolution and from participating in a revolution. So I really like the idea of these androids having agency, and that's one that stands out right now. Yeah.
Thank you for your question. I've got one lined up here. What is your name, sir?
My name's Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
I just wanted to say that you guys obviously had the scene following the investigation at the club that ends up with the two of you like basically scrapping out back during the escape. Now, like, I don't know if honestly you guys got put in mocap against each other for that kind of thing, but you got to admit that's probably therapeutic to watch, right? You guys have got to enjoy that.
Yeah. I personally really like when Tracy beats up with Connor a little bit too much.
Yeah, she likes to hold the controller out here. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not doing
just
anything for Connor to defend himself.
We did not do the actual fighting. They had stunt people who came in, but it was a lot of fun being like, all right, you and me, we're going at it now.
Yeah, they would film a lot of these, especially like the parkour sequences. You know, they have like really, I'm not an expert parkour runner or anything, but very often the scenes would be, okay, we have this dialogue, you build up just to the moment of the fight beginning, cut, someone else is going to do all the awesome badass stuff, and then come back, and then they're like, okay, so you're on the ground, you just got your ass kicked by the Tracys, you're like, okay, and start the scene.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got time for... Thank you very much. Thank you. We've got time for another couple of questions. We've got a gentleman here. What's your name?
Dan. Hi,
Go
Dan.
for it, Dan.
Heard you talk about D&D. What's
Yes,
your
sir.
favourite D&D race?
Thank you, Dan.
It's a big one. I mean, right now I'm playing a wood elf wizard in our home game. It's hard to pick a favorite, of course. Hey, a tiefling! Do we have any other tieflings here? They usually don't announce themselves, but...
I think the Dragonborn are really cool. And also Gnome.
Thank you very much. Okay, Dale, do we have time for another couple of questions? Yeah? Okay, lovely lady here. Right, go for it. And great T-shirt. Yes, Rick and Morty. Go for it. What's your name?
Cara.
All right,
Cara. We've got Cara here, everyone. Right, Cara, what's your question?
I'm just wondering, how much input did you have into Connor? Was he based on you, or was it something that you auditioned for?
So I definitely auditioned for Connor many times. In fact, the first audition for Connor was the Cara tech demo, the dialogue from, you know, the 2012 one where Kara's waking up. Also, I see another Cara back there. Hello, Cara. Do you have any other Caras in cosplay? Hello, hello. I watched a ton of sci-fi, which was a really great homework assignment. So there are lots of, you know, data from Star Trek here, a little C-3PO here, a little Bicentennial Man there. But yeah, we got to build it, but it wasn't so... The script was very locked. Changing dialogue was really... I had to, like, pull the writer aside and say, hey, I think we need to say this and not this, because the branching narrative thing makes it very specific that if you change things, then we want to feel this is one choice and this is another choice and that they're not too similar. But the place where I got to do more improv was in the physicality, things like the wink and slapping Hank and all of that stuff. A lot of that just kind of came out of playing with Clancy on set. Yeah.
Cool, thank you. Dale, can we have two more questions, Dale? Yes.
Please, Dale,
lovely,
please.
Lovely. Please, Dale. Everyone just say, please, Dale, please. Right, lovely blue-haired lady here. What's your question? What's your name?
My name's Jessica.
Hi, Jessica.
It's lovely to see you in person. I don't miss a single stream, so this is awesome. I was just wondering, following the good ending, what do you think personally for your characters? Where do you think that they go? Like, what do you think Connor's up to? And Amelia, what do you think that Echo and Ripple are up to?
Well, I think something that I find really interesting about my characters was that I think they're very in tune with people's physicality and being able to read someone. So I think it would be fun. I could imagine them becoming spies, infiltrating, and starting the revolution from the inside.
Somebody asked me once, what sport would Connor play? And I was like, I don't really know if he'd be so good at sports, but I like to think that like after hugging Hank, and you know the story continues, that Connor's just like, I'm alive, and just like, you know, having a silly walk around town or whatever, you know, just really freaking out.
Thank you.
Running in fields, you know, something.
I want to see Connor do the dance thing. Whatever you just did there was amazing.
It was my silly walk. I'll silly walk out of here. You guys know.
Yes. Okay, what's your name, gentleman? What's your name, sir?
Obviously, it's Hank.
It's obviously a Hank. Hi, Hank.
Connor, when are you going to fix my window?
That's the question. Yes.
CyberLife will pay for that. You know, that's actually one piece on set. So I got to see a little bit of the stunt team do a few different things. And I really thought I was going to do the jump in through the window. I can do a roll. I can do whatever. And the stunt guy, in this case, was Jean-Charles Rousseau, who worked on Mission Impossible. He's working on James Bond. He's a fantastic stunt guy. But they set up the window, and he's going to go break in for Hank's thing. And he does this jump in, this ridiculous tumble in the window. And I was like, you know, they had this set. And I was like, guys, I'm sorry. I'm not an android, not a super advanced prototype, but watch this. Like, why does he dive face first into it? But they had already shot the thing on the ground where I'm down like, whoa, sumo, like this. So they had to necessitate, you know, Connor being down on the ground, which is why he just eats it.
Thanks, Hank. And by the way, I love you, Hank. I think Hank
I
is
love you
like
too,
my
Hank.
favorite. We love you, Hank. Yes. Then we've got one last question. This lady here had her arm might wither away if we have it holding up anyone. So, are you ready? Yeah. Okay. You nervous? Okay. What's your name?
Mehek.
Okay. Oh, Mehek. What's your question?
Hi. I'm
Hi.
nervous. Sorry, I'm shaking like properly. Okay. I just want to know what was the funniest thing that happened on set? Because like I remember they were talking about Assassin's Creed Rogue, and when Shay screams at Achilles, their front cameras got caught up into each other. So, and they were like, I had to wait, and everybody had to like pull them apart. So, like, did anything like that happen on set at all?
So we at Quantic Dream, we're using all markers on the face, so we don't have to have a camera floating in front of us, which is a huge help. It allows you to be much more mobile. When we were filming so anytime the player in the QuickTime events kind of slowly does, I'm going to do this move, and then this happens, we film these in phrases. So we have these awkward kind of pauses where, all right, I'm going to go wake up the Tracy. I'm now going to push the button. It opens her. I'm going to connect the wire. There are all these little different phrases. So we got used to that, and we were filming with Hank, and we picked him up, and we got to sober him up by putting him in the shower and blast him with the water. I was told very deliberately that I needed to do one motion to turn on the water, and then very separately a second motion to turn off the water. And this was after Clancy Brown had been like lifting me up by the scruff of my neck and slamming me into things constantly, and it was fun. But he's a gigantic human, so we're moving around, and we toss him into the tub. And this was somewhere after maybe a week of filming, so I was getting a little more comfortable with Clancy. But I flicked on the water to turn on the shower, and so then Clancy's fallen into the tub going like this, and then I realized that he had to keep doing that until I turned the water off. There's no water, there's no tub, there's no anything, but I just had Clancy Brown in a tub going come on, okay, and that was one of the most fun for me.
Now, guess what, you guys? Dale has said we've got time for even more fan questions. Can we say thank Dale! Yes! We love you, Dale. Thank you, Dale. Right, who wants to ask a question? Right, we're going to come over here. Right, excuse me if right, I'm getting better at this. There we go. Right, okay, lovely lady here. What is your name?
My name is Abby. Hello, how are you?
Hello, Abby. We're good. How are you?
I'm good. Well, my question is, since you're in this great country, have you been to Greg's yet? I had heard about Greg's.
Yes.
And when we came to pull up to the hotel, which was taking a very long time to get into the, sort of the load-off area, and there was a Greg's truck just parked in front of us. So sort of our first experience here in Manchester was just staring at the side of the Greg's truck, waiting for it to move so we could park. It's a sign, but no, I mean, I don't even really, is Greg's a supermarket?
Restaurant? It's a bakery?
It's a bakery.
What shall we get from
Yeah,
this
what is one-
famous bakery?
A sausage roll?
Filthy
from
sausage
Greg's.
roll from Greg's.
Done.
Oh,
Siri,
it's good
please set
filth.
a reminder
It's good filth.
for Greg's.
The best filthy sausage roll you will ever have. And there's a vegan option now as well.
Wait,
just
wait,
saying.
wait. It's called a filthy sausage
Well,
roll?
that's what we call it up in Scotland. So, right, we've got this. No
cheeky
problem. Thank
with
you for
the
your
Greg's.
question. Thank you. We've got this lovely lady here. What's your name?
Juniper.
Hello, Juniper.
Juniper.
What was it like working with Mr. Krabs?
So, another fun story about Clancy. I was very excited to work with Clancy Brown because he was sort of the only piece of information I had about the project. It had a top secret title, and basically the only thing anyone would tell me is like, oh yeah, by the way, don't tell anybody, but Clancy Brown's going to play Hank. So I was really excited. To me, Clancy Brown is also Neo Cortex in Crash Bandicoot 2 and 3, which was my childhood favorite game. Some Crash Team Racing moments here. But I was very excited and nervous to meet Clancy and wanted to make a really good impression. So I got picked up at the hotel to be taken to set where we would film, and I got in the cab and got to the spot, and then we were waiting, and Clancy was late, and I was getting nervous, like, where's Clancy? Is he nervous to meet me? I don't know. But then Clancy came in, and the first thing he said to me was, "You took my cab." And I was like, what? Apparently, I got in the car, and I was like, yes, very good, off the set, let's go. And they're like, Mr. Brown? Yeah, good. And so Clancy is an incredibly sweet guy. He's a gigantic human being and has a gigantic heart to go with it. For me, it was a lot of the experience that Connor has with Hank in the game, where I sort of met him nervously and was like, hi, can we be friends? And he was incredibly, incredibly sweet.
Okay,
so by the end, I mean, there's a lot of moments, he's holding me in his arms, or, I'm holding him in my arms, or, we died together like 30 different ways. So I'm very fond of Clancy, yeah.
Thank you very much for your question. I love Clancy. I love Highlander. So I was playing the game going, Kurgan! I love Kurgan. Right, okay, we've got 2 Spider-Men here. I'm just collecting the Spider-Men. So Spider-Man number 1, what's your name?
Tom.
Tom. Not related to Mr. Holland? No. Okay, so what is your question, Tom?
Do you think they'll make a sequel to Detroit Become Human?
So as I mentioned with everything before, no one tells me anything until the very last second, but I would hope they would. I would like it if they did. Yeah. But honestly, I don't even know the release day of when it comes out on PC, which is supposed to happen this year. So if you guys find out, I usually find out things about Detroit through you guys. You're like, oh, did you know it's in Tokyo right now? And I'm like, what?
But I do think that if you tweet or reach out to Quantic Dream and say, we want a Detroit too, that will help to stir the flames.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
Okay, so get tweeting. Thank you, Tom. Spider-Man number 2? Come over here. Right, okay, what's your name, Mr. Spider-Man number 2?
Sabs.
Okay, what's your question?
Question is as you doing the whole Detroit game and the recording sessions, have you ever wondered to yourself, like in the conscious mind, have you ever thought of yourself as a deviant or a straight up android hunter?
Thank you.
I mean, I know that I'm a deviant. I definitely am a deviant. I thought a lot about the two extremes, really as either side of a picket line. On one side, you have Machine Connor, who's much like a SWAT, who can only do what he's told to do by headquarters and has, in many cases, no face and no emotion. And the other side, this image of putting a carnation in the muzzle of a gun. The chaotic good. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much. Okay, next question. What is your name, sir?
Hi, my name's Dom. I remember you saying in an interview with Jacksepticeye, but how did you come up with your code for your jacket?
Oh, the code for the jacket, Connor's jacket. Yeah. So that one I did get to come up with on set. They didn't have an identified number yet. So the writer, Adam William, asked me, when you're coming into the CyberLife HQ and you're going to go down into the subfloor, He said, we need you to come up with a number. The number is 313, which is the area code for Detroit, Michigan. 248, which is the area code of the neighborhood in Michigan that I grew up in middle school and high school. 317 is my birthday, March 17th. 5, there are 5 people in my family, and 1 is the one original Connor. So that's what those numbers are about.
Thank you. Thanks for your question. Cheers. Right, lovely lady here. What's your name?
I'm Eleanor.
Hello.
Hi. If you could work with any other game development company, who would you pick?
Oh, good question. Thank you, Eleanor.
I'm going to say Naughty Dog.
Yes.
And if Troy and Nolan can hear me, maybe we could do some sort of Uncharted thing together sometime, guys? Maybe? Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. So I'm being lazy and I'm just beckoning people up to come to me. I am warm. What's your name?
Amber, hi.
Hello.
I was wondering, what do you think is the most human aspect of your characters?
The most which?
Human.
Most human. It's very different for the two of us. Yes. You want to take that to start?
I think the most human aspect of my characters is their heart. I mean, they've fallen so deeply in love with each other, and now that they've experienced that, they will do everything they can to protect that.
For Connor, I read a lot about artificial intelligence and the very real problems. We can easily get a computer to compute faster than humans can do math or find some exact numerical answer to something. But the two obstacles for artificial intelligence compared to computing and compared to humans, the first is pattern recognition, which humans are very good. We can see a face in the clouds. We can see anything to us. We can recognize patterns much better than a computer can, and also common sense. It's really difficult to get a computer to understand things like you can use a string to pull, but you can't use a string to push. And so the common sense thing, where Connor as an android just like has no idea about most jokes or anything, is one element where he grows. But the pattern recognition thing, I think, is what makes him most human eventually, because that's empathy. Empathy is pattern recognition, where we say, I see someone else has an elevated heart rate, their breathing is going like this, their eyes are changing color, they must be upset and sad. Or if I see someone smiling, and you can have enough of these experiences where you say, oh, what's happening with you has happened with me, or has happened with someone that I know and love. And so this pattern recognition, which is empathy, is ultimately the most human part you can get Connor to be. Yeah.
Thank you for your question.
Yeah,
Thank
good question.
you. Hello, sir. What's your name?
I'm Keenan. I was wondering, you already said that you'd like to take a crack at Vision, but if you could voice act in any other animated series, what would it be?
Thank you.
I mean, it's so. I mean, it still seems so simple to be like Star Wars or Marvel, but I mean, I'd like to play the big bad in something. I don't know. I'd like to play. When I get voiceover auditions, the parts that I never book, I often am playing protagonists or more morally bright characters. But I really like the idea of playing a villain. That's why Vannevar is a lot of fun. I heard you mention. How about you?
I think it would be fun to do something for children. When I was younger, I loved My Little Ponies, something like that, because it's just so positive.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so the last 4 here are going to be the last 4 who've got lined up. Hello, sir. What's your name?
Owen.
Owen. Okay, Owen, what's your name? Sorry, what's your name? The Heat. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name?
Owen.
What's your question, Owen?
When you were recording in Hank's house, was Sumo a real dog?
I love this question.
Yes.
So,
Thank you.
as I mentioned when we filmed with Marcus, for instance, that David Cage would play Marcus, and then when I was not around, David Cage would play Connor for Marcus. So he was always stepping in to read the lines, because of course he knew the full script and everything. But when it came time for Sumo, there was no Sumo, and I said, David, would you like to play Sumo? And he refused. So we did, Sumo was totally an imaginary eye line. They basically just told me he's about this big, and we just played pretend that there was a Sumo. But I wish there was a Sumo.
Thank you very much, Owen. Thank
There's
you.
a Sumo on a stick right here.
Yes. Thank you, Owen. Thank you. Sir, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Andrew. Never played Detroit, but by the sounds of it, it sounds like a great game, and I'll get on it at some point. Just a quick question. You mentioned Star Wars earlier. What would you pick, as in the character, and what type of character would you play, and what would you use, and that kind of thing, so on and so forth?
Oh, good question. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Well.
He's excited.
Here we go.
All right. So I want a green lightsaber, if I can have one. Have you seen the trailer for this new, what is it? Oh, God, come on.
Rise of Skywalker?
What's that?
Rise
of Skywalker, of course.
Or Jedi the Fallen Order.
Yeah, the Fallen Order. I mean, that character, actually auditioned for that part, but that character seems super interesting to me. I really like the idea of a character that's, fallen away from the path and then returns to it. The idea, I love Obi-Wan is probably my favorite character in all of Star Wars, but I don't know. Ewan McGregor is a far better young Obi-Wan than I could be. What about you?
I find the characters that are really grappling, they're like right in the middle of the dark and the light. I find them really interesting. Like in the most recent film, Kylo Ren, where you thought maybe he was gonna turn. I think a character like that would be really, really interesting. Yes,
just there. Looking great, by the way.
I know, fantastic.
Fantabulous. Thank you very much. Okay, with the last two here. Hello. What's your name?
I'm Swish, Swishing Dandy.
Hey, Swish.
Hi. So this is more of a Twitch-based question. Right back at the beginning, when you just started, did you have any idea, any inkling that you were like, yeah, this could be something? Did you think anything like this could happen?
Not
from it?
like this.
No.
Not like this. Not like this. I mean, I knew it was going to be fun because I knew that I would be playing every single permeation just to see all the stuff that's in the game because we recorded it all, bits and pieces over years. So I really wanted to see how they connected all the dots and what happened with Cara and Marcus.
Yeah.
But when it came to, the fact that we've been invited to come to so many events like this and to meet everybody in person, the amount of support that Amelia and I get from you guys, in all things, is really, really incredible. So, no, this has exceeded my... I said one time, I was like, oh, yeah, when we make it to 1 million on Twitch, I'll wear a fish suit. Some of you will remember that. And we're almost a third of the way there, and I never expected that. So it's fantastic, and we're really grateful for it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Last question of the day, and appropriately dressed, yes? Okay, go for it. What is your name and what is your question?
It's Anthony. Hello.
Hello.
I've got a French bulldog that I named Connor, by the way, just because it's such a good, so good. Question was, let's not question David Cage, but if there was anything you'd change with the narrative of the story and what happened to Connor and Tracy, what would you change, if anything?
Oh, interesting question. Tough one to end the day. Thanks for that. No okay, what would you change in the narrative or add in, I guess?
I'm going to jump in so Amelia can end us on a little brighter note. But the one thing that I would totally change, and I understand why it can't change for the purpose of a branching narrative, but if you get to the point where Hank has resigned and he's playing Russian roulette with himself and you show up as Connor to his house, there is no way out of that scene. And I think it's really important that there is a way out of a scene like that. There are things you can say to someone who's in such a situation. There is help that people can get when they're in such a dark place. So I understand for the point of a branching narrative how it's terminal, that scene has to end so the rest of the story can continue, and the game can only be so big. But the big adjustment that I would make is that if you know anybody who's struggling with these kind of things, there's absolutely resources available to them. And there's the simple thing like just giving somebody a reply on Twitter can be a huge help. So I just want to reiterate that, there's some dark parts of this game, but there's a lot of really, really bright parts of this community. So I appreciate that a lot.
I would love to know what happens with the two of them after they have escaped. I know you can see them in Jericho, but I would love to know what they do. It would be fun to get to see what else happens with the two of them.
Do you have any suspicions of what they might do?
I like my suspicion of them becoming spies. I want to be a spy. So that's what I would say.
Thank you very much. Now, I want to say thank you for all your questions. First of all, a round of applause to you guys. Thank you, because you guys make the panel. And tomorrow, I'm going to be speaking to Bryan and Amelia again, and we're going to be playing a very special game tomorrow that might test their relationship.
What?
Honestly, it's fine. You guys are fine.
I'm going
Don't
to go
worry.
home and study.
Just ask each other random questions tonight.
Social security number, go.
So, guys, if you're seeing Bryan and Amelia later, they're going to be signing autographs all day. Please give a huge round of applause for Bryan and Amelia.
Thank you, guys. It's really good to see you all.
Guys, you've been absolutely wonderful. I will see you later, no doubt. Thank you very much.
Rum Tum Tug, it looks really fucking good.
Yes.
You look amazing. You guys, your cosplay is fantastic. We've only been here for like an hour, but you all look fantastic. So thank you so much for
Thank you very
being
much.
up.
Everyone.
See you soon.
Yes. Louder.